You back to this next module what we're going to get into. This is week 5, and we're going to talk about the pain map. Your wound is your weapon. And we're going to talk about how you can build that into your purpose. So this pillar that we're focusing on is all about purpose. And today we're talking about healing and transformation. You see, most men, most powerful men in history were not men who had easy lives. They were men who refused to let their pain be wasted. See, your greatest wound, the thing you have been running from, uh, numbing or hiding, is often the exact source of your greatest purpose. Yo, here at the Built to Win Academy, the principle of healing leads to leadership. Let me say that again. The principle of healing leads to leadership. It is not a soft idea. It is a strategic one. So as we break down this week and we go into the pain of your story, not to dwell there, not to become a victim of it, but to extract the gold from it, the true gold, the true purpose from your story. You see, every man carry wounds from absent fathers, broken relationships, financial failure, addiction, loss, or identity confusion. You see, these wounds, when examined, honestly healed intentionally, becomes the fuel for a mission that no one else can carry the way you can. But the wound to weapon principle, I'm talking your deepest pain, points to your highest calling. The man who overcame addiction is uniquely positioned to lead other men out of it. Does that make sense? The man who rebuilt after divorce, like myself, is uniquely positioned to help other men strengthen their marriages. Your story is not a liability. It is your greatest asset. And today this week, we're going to unravel how your greatest asset can help you, help men, help other people that may be going through that same general way. So the Built to Win framework, the pain map, let's talk about it. You got surface pain, root pain, belief pain, brief in pain, and mission signal. In surface pain, the question I want you to know is, what have I struggled with most in life? And then with that, I want you to talk about the visible wound. And your root pain, I want you to go over what is the earliest memory of this pain. That's going to be your origin story. Your belief pain, what did this pain teach me to believe about myself? That's the lie accepted. And the gift in the pain, what strength, epiphany, or wisdom did this pain produce? That's your weapon. And then in your mission signal, who else is living in this pain right now? Those are the people you are called to serve. So in this weekly challenge, I want you to do this pain map exercise that I just laid out for you. You can rewind and go back so that you can go through it again. But what I want you to do, I want you to set aside 60 uninterrupted minutes, about an hour of your day this week. And I want you to work through the pain map. Work through the pain map framework honestly and completely. This one is on you. This is not a public exercise. It is a private evacuation. I want you to write it in a journal or a document that only you can see. And this is what I want you to do. At the end, I want you to identify the one wound that when it's healed and weaponized could become the foundation of your purpose. When it's healed, this can become the foundation of your purpose. Okay? Whether it's addiction, divorce, dealing with just identity, this is what can help you find the foundation of your purpose. And then I want you to reflect. I want you to write your 200, 300 words, and I want you to answer this right here. What is the wound I have been carrying, and what gift or mission signal does it contain, meaning the people you serve? And how does my pain qualify me to lead others? Once you find out those answers, I want you to share only what you're comfortable sharing publicly. We'll be able to do that in the live chat coming up. But man, take this minute, take this week to reflect on yourself. See where you can be better. See where the wounds are at and how you can heal. And from there, you'll get to see the people that you are meant and called to serve. We are discovering our purpose. This is the first start. This is ground zero. Values, standards, and non-negotiables. The code you live by, right? Listen, we still on the pillar of purpose, but today we are focusing again on values and standards. Values and standards. You see, a man without a code is a man who can be bought, broken, or blown off course by any strong wind. You see, your values are not what you say you believe, but they are what you are willing to sacrifice for. You see, most men have never explicitly defined their values, which means they are living by default. By default, values absorb from culture, family, and circumstance. Rather than choosing values forged through intentional reflection. Let me say that again. Rather than chosen values forged through intentional reflection. That's why this week you will define your personal code through 5 core values. 5 core values that govern how you live, lead, and make decisions. See, these values are not aspirational. They are operational. These are the things you need to get through each and every day. This is your SOP, standard operations procedures. You see, they describe the man you are choosing to be, not the man you hope to be someday. Listen, the integrity test you are living in, integrity when your actions align with your values. We just did those, right? What we about to do those. We just did the mission statement. But every time you act against your values, you make a small withdrawal from your self-respect account. And too many withdrawals, guess what? You lose. You become being in the negative. You lose confidence, clarity, and direction. That vision starts to become blurry. But living by your code is not a moral exercise. It is a strategic one. And this is how we focus on it, right? The built to win framework, the personal code of how we can get ahead. And basically all you're doing is you're going to write down your 5 values. 5 values that you believe in. You're going to give a definition of them, of those 5 values. And then when you give the 5 values and you write the definition, you're going to basically talk about what it looks like in live action when your 5 values are implemented in your life. So the weekly challenge, right? The weekly challenge today or this week is the value audit. I want you to review the last 30 days of your life. For each of your 5 core values, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 for how consistently you live by that value. Now, this is a good opportunity to do this because over the past 30 days, you was building discipline and you was focusing on your wounds and how you can get to be a better person on your purpose. So for any value, right, I want you to rate that rated below 7. Identify one specific behavior change you will implement immediately to close that gap. For anyone that's below 7. And then after that, I want you to go into your reflection assignment. This is still your 200 to 300 word answering this. What are my 5 core values? And where am I currently living out of alignment with them? So your core value also centers yourself and brings you back to who you need to be as the man. And then you get to see what is the one standard I am raising starting this week. What is that one standard that you're going to lock in and do starting this week? This man and the man you are built to be. Listen, we are still on the pillar of purpose, but today we are focusing on the mission and your identity. We are almost there to uncovering the man you are meant to be and to serve the people you are meant to serve. So let's go a little bit into the mission, right? A mission statement is not a corporate exercise. It is a declaration of war against mediocrity. Listen, man, I always like to help men fight the inner war, and today we are going to get it through this mission. It is the answer to the question every man must eventually face. What am I here for? So your mission is the specific, irreplaceable contribution you are designed to make to the world. The intersection of your gifts, your wounds, your values, and your vision. You see, man, this week you will craft your personal built to win mission statement. Now, even though it says built to win, it is your own personal mission statement that you are going to have for yourself. It's going to be a single powerful sentence that defines who you are, who you serve, and what you are building. This statement will become the filter through which you make every major decision. Let that sink in for the rest of your life. You with me so far? I hope you are, because it's about to get real. The mission filter, when faced with a decision, asks, does this align with my mission? If yes, you can advance. If no, I want you to decline. You see, a man with a clear vision, a mission, is immune to distractions. See, when you have that vision and that mission, you no longer drift, man. You start to shift into the legacy what we're going to be building soon. Because when you focus on that, right, you have a standard against which everything is measured. So the built to win framework, right, the mission, the architect, your mission statement is built from 4 components. And let's get into it. Your identity. I'm talking about the core root of who you are. I want you to ask this question. Who am the man of who I am becoming? I want you to ask that. Then the gift. That's your strength. I am a man who uses blank to blank. Service. Serve. I am a man who uses blank to help blank. I want you to fill in these blanks, right? And then legacy, talking about your impact. I am a man that's focusing on what? What are you focusing on to impact? And I want to just go back to identity because I felt like I messed that one up, but I am a man who whatsoever, all right? When we focus on those 4 cores, we can get to that next level. But I want to give you an example of a mission statement, right? And it goes like this. I am a man of discipline and conviction who uses my story of struggle and redemption to help men break free from mediocrity so that the next generation inherits a legacy of strength and not excuses. That makes sense? Then you'll do that same mission statement for yourself. Use that for something that you hold yourself to, for your kids, for your life, for your wife, and for everything you do and in your life. Then your weekly challenge, your mission statement, right? I want you to draft and refine and refine it. Draft your personal mission statement using the mission out your culture framework that we just talked about. Write at least three versions of it, right? Each one basically getting better and sharper and more specific than the last one. Then I want you to share your final version with one trusted person in your life, whether it's a mentor, a close friend, your wife, your partner, however. And then if you want, you can share it in the live chat when we tune in, and ask them, does this sound like me at my best? And if it does, you struck gold, brother. Okay? Then we're going to get into our reflection assignment. We're going to write 200 to 300 words answering this. What is my personal mission statement? And how does it change the way I see my daily decisions, my relationships, my work? This is the time to challenge yourself, really challenge yourself on, am I really focusing on my values? Am I really focusing on my mission? Do I even have a mission? This is how I build a mission. This is how I have non-negotiables. This is how I make my non-negotiables and do them daily. This is how you get ahead, men. It may seem elementary, but these are the things and the steps that we do not do, we do not take, we do not lock in and do because we think, oh, it's no need to do it. But men, we are building the picture of your future. We are still in the pillar of purpose, but this time we are focusing on vision and we are focusing on a direction. And we are able to do that now because we went from focusing on our wounds and building our story, and now we're here focusing on a vision and direction. Listen, you cannot build what you cannot see. Most men are living reactive lives, responding to whatever shows up rather than moving towards something they have deliberately chosen. But today we're going to talk about how vision is the antidote to drift. Yeah. A clear, compelled vision of your future self acts as a magnetic north. It pulls you forward even when discipline falters away. We're going to not drift. We're going to shift. And we're going to focus on our purpose. So this week you will build a vision that can last for 10 years across 5 domains of a man's life. This is not a wish list. It's the declaration of intent, a detailed, emotional, charged picture of the man you are committed to becoming. And the life you are committed to building as well. So we're going to talk about these domains. And it's going to basically be like visions versus goals, right? Listen, goals are destinations. It always has been, always will be. But vision is the landscape. You see, goals change, but vision evolves. But indoors, a man with a clear vision, you can lose a battle and still win the war. Does that make sense? Because he knows where he's going, no matter the failure. All we use is failure as is data to reassess and to take charge and go again. So the built to win framework, right? The 5 domain vision, we're going to go over them. Health and body. What do you want your health to look like in these next few years? What are you going to do to get there? Relationships. What is your important relations and what does it look like? Mission and work. What are you building? What are you building each and every day to get to the next level? Finances and freedom. What does your finance looks like in these next few years and what are you doing to get to that next level of financial freedom? And then legacy and impact. What would they say when it's all said and done and when you're moving to the next level? When you're no longer here on this earth. And then this is my weekly challenge for you. I want you to do a vision letter. I want you to write a letter from your future self, whether it's 5, 10 years from now. But when you write this letter to your current self, I want you to write it in first person. Present tense, as if you already living that life. See what we doing? We planting the vision, we planting the seed. And then I want you to describe each of those 5 domains that we just went over in vivid emotional detail. See, this letter should be about 500 words. It's not a lot. And I want you to read it every morning for the remainder of this time here in this program. The reason we're doing that is because if you start to say it, you start to see it, you start to believe it, and you start doing those actions to get you there. The reflective assignment. We also going to do this, right? I want you to answer this. What does my vision 5 to 10 years from now reveal about what I truly value? What has been standing between me and the vision and what I am now choosing to do about it? See, man, if we do these simple tasks, if we do these things, we start building that framework of who we was already meant to be. We are reclaiming back our time and we are focusing on where God is trying to place us in life. And if you're not a faith man, these values basically are helping you get to where you need to be. But it takes discipline and it starts with you. So let's continue to build and elevate and be the men that we are expected to be, right? This 5, 10 years from now. We are going to start doing it right now. Blessings, brother. I see you on the live. Do the homework. We'll chime back in. Make sure you being involved in the community. And I'll see you on live. Let's go.